The WNBA is set to lose $40 million this season.
Remember when the WNBA was thriving, with Caitlyn Clark's star power-filling arenas, ratings soaring, and merchandise flying off the shelves? It felt like the league had struck gold. But now, we're facing a staggering $40 million loss. How did things unravel so fast? Buckle up for the roller coaster ride that took the WNBA from a shining success to a sudden financial freefall.
Next season is canceled. It will be the end of the WNBA in the mainstream. People will not give this league another chance.
A $40 million loss is alarming. But what if that's only scratching the surface? Behind the scenes, there's a group of key players who've been quietly simmering for years. And now they're finally ready to break their silence.
NBA investors are actually starting to get irritated. It's about time.
Their patience is wearing dangerously thin. You know things are getting serious when even NBA owners start demanding answers.
The owners, if the NBA wanted to close this, nobody would blame them. Nobody would blame them if they wanted to shut this league down. I mean, what other league operates for 27 years in a loss? What other business does? It doesn't. It gets closed down. It gets shut down.
Their patience is wearing dangerously thin. You know things are getting serious when even NBA owners start demanding answers. These aren't just ordinary questions. They're the kind that make league commissioners break a sweat. For 27 years, the backers of the WNBA have watched as losses stack up, season after season. But now they've reached their limit. Rumor has it the NBA is even considering shutting the league down. And it's no longer just about the money. These owners demand transparency, and they want it immediately. They're done writing blank checks without seeing progress. Can you blame them? Imagine investing millions over nearly 3 decades, only to watch the business continue to bleed cash.
And of all owners to actually be sort of a hero on this, it is James Dolan. One of them, of course, from the Knicks, that is asking a lot of questions right now, and evidently a lot of other owners are sort of happy that he's taking this bullet.
And leading the charge? None other than James Dolan, the owner of the New York Knicks. Yes, that James Dolan, the same guy who's usually the target of fan criticism. But now he's the one demanding answers from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. Talk about a plot twist. And it gets even crazier. Other owners are actually calling Dolan a hero for speaking out. When was the last time anyone called James Dolan a hero? I'll wait. It's like we're in some alternate universe where Dolan's suddenly the good guy. But hey, stranger things have happened in the world of sports, right?
The NBA owns nearly 60% of the league. Now listen to this. When one combines the NBA owners' personal stakes in WNBA teams and the WNBA itself, the amount rises to 75% of the league ownership is tied to the WNBA, to the NBA for the league.
Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how much is the NBA really involved in all of this? Well, buckle up, because here's the kicker. The NBA owns a staggering 75% of the WNBA. That's right, 75%. So, when the WNBA takes a hit, the NBA feels it too, big time. We're talking millions of dollars draining from NBA coffers every single year.
The NBA team owners have invested hundreds of millions into the WNBA since 1996, per sources. Quote, the WNBA owes the NBA so much we won't see any windfall for years, a team executive told the Post. So it's going to be years, even with this broadcast, this new media rights deal, before anybody sees any money.
Why are NBA owners suddenly so concerned about the WNBA's finances? The answer is simple. They're watching their investment go up in flames. One anonymous executive didn't mince words. The WNBA owes the NBA so much. That's not just frustration. That's the cold, hard truth. Now, you might be thinking, can't they just cut their losses and shut it down? Well, it's not that easy. The WNBA isn't just a business. It's a symbol of progress in sports. Closing it down would be a PR disaster. Besides, there's still hope that the right strategies could turn things around. So, the WNBA is still standing. But for how long? They're about to step into a whole new playing field, and the rules are changing faster than a buzzer beater. Are you ready for what's next? Because the future of the league is hanging by a thread, and the unraveling is about to begin.
Before anybody sees any money. Starting in the 2026 season, the WNBA will get up to a $2.2 billion over 11 years media right contract.
The future of the WNBA is knocking, and it's carrying a $2.2 billion check, the projected value of the league's next media rights deal. This figure is more than 36 times the current deal, signaling not just a modest boost, but a monumental game changer for the WNBA.
That means likely at least $100 million annual increase from what the WNBA currently makes from national media contracts, which is about $60 million. The WNBA is also set to expand its regular season and playoff schedule to generate more revenue.
But here's where things get really interesting. This massive deal hinges on Caitlyn Clark and the excitement she's generating. Networks are seeing a surge in ratings when she plays, and they're ready to invest big. We're talking about media rights jumping from $60 million a year to at least $100 million. After 27 years of operating at a loss, the WNBA could finally turn a profit. However, there's trouble on the horizon. If the WNBA players decide to opt out of their current collective bargaining agreement by November 1st, it could create a financial shockwave throughout the league. Why? Because the players are expected to push for higher salaries, which could turn the league's current financial struggles into an even larger nightmare.
But the players are expected to opt out of the CBA by November 1 deadline, and if they do, that means the salaries are likely to rise, which would eat into the potential $60 million for the 2026 profit by the league. The $100 million in television revenue, turning the projected $40 million loss into a $60 million gain. Quote, we have not even getting any money from the WNBA expansion fees.
The WNBA is at a crossroads. Players are demanding higher pay while resisting certain changes, and investors are growing weary of sinking money into what seems like a losing venture. But at the center of it all is Caitlyn Clark, the rookie sensation who just might have the power to turn things around, if the league is willing to give her the chance.
For this league, again, what do you do? I mean, this league is going to make some money now, all right? But again, what happens if you push all these new fans back out? What does that do for your media rights deals? Because they only got the new media rights deals because of one player. I mean, singular, let's be honest. It's Caitlyn Clark.
But hold on, remember all those new fans Caitlyn Clark brought into the game? The ones who suddenly took an interest in women's basketball? Well, surprisingly, some WNBA players haven't exactly given them a warm welcome. In fact, it seems like they're pushing these new fans away. Can you believe that? It's almost as if they're intentionally shrinking their own fan base. Some players and league officials have even criticized Clark and her supporters, claiming this wave of new fans is disrupting the league's established culture.
She boosted all the ratings, she got the popularity, and now all your players across the league are attacking her fans, the Iowa fans, the Indiana Fever fans. Look at those Connecticut Sun players talking about Indiana Fever fans are racist. Angel Reese talking about Indiana Fever fans are racist. Caitlyn Clark fans are racist. People are going to get tired of that, and they're going to be like, to hell with it. Let's let this league burn itself to the ground where it should have been a long time ago.
But the drama escalates even further. Accusations are swirling, and they're impossible to ignore. Some players, like Angel Reese, have even gone so far as to label Caitlyn Clark's fans as racists. Can you believe it? The very factor that could potentially rescue the WNBA from financial struggles is now being viewed by some insiders as a serious threat.
Every single year, and it looks like the league might eventually become profitable. That is, if the WNBA players, the hatefulness, the jealousy, the pettiness doesn't run off fans, okay? Because we know the way they treated Caitlyn Clark, and we know the way a lot of these players have talked so badly about the new fans that have come in. Well, the new fans are what's going to make you money. So if you continue to talk badly about them, they're going to get fed up, and they're going to not watch this league. They're going to leave the league, and you're back to where you were, and it sounds like owners, you better not go back to where you were.
The WNBA stands at a crucial turning point, and time is running out. With a superstar like Caitlyn Clark captivating thousands of fans with her remarkable skill and undeniable charisma, the league has a rare chance to reach new heights. Clark's impact has the potential to bring increased attention, revenue, and viewership, making this a pivotal moment for the WNBA to harness her star power and expand its fan base. This is the golden opportunity the league has been waiting for.
And you've got the factor of Caitlyn Clark's getting the ever-loving hell beat out of her out there. So what happens if she gets hurt, severely hurt, knocked out of the league? Again, we were one eye poke away from a career being potentially a wrap right after it started.
However, rather than offering full support to Clark, some within the league appear to be pushing back. In fact, there's been a troubling trend of bullying directed at her, which has begun to alienate fans.
Frankly, Caitlyn Clark fans are getting pissed over it. They're getting tired of it. You know? And again, all these new fans, a lot of them, like us, in this house that are actual families, a nuclear family, a traditional family unit, we don't want to see her get the crap beat out of her on the court. That's not a good look for our kids to be watching. We don't want to see that.
The WNBA was once a mere footnote in the world of sports, but those days are far behind us. Enter Caitlyn Clark, a player who didn't just make her debut, she burst onto the scene like a basketball supernova, changing the game forever.
The WNBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merch sales, and just overall growth of the league.
Suddenly, everyone was talking about women's basketball, and the WNBA finally stepped into the spotlight it had been yearning for all these years.
Another chart that says the yearly league attendance by team. So if we look at this chart for the 2024 season, the Indiana Fever are pretty much blowing out every other team. They are averaging almost 16,000 per 39 games. So this is taking into consideration not only the Indiana Fever home games, but also when they are on the road. Their lowest attendance was around 6,000 people. And if you look at the rest of the league, everybody else is around 3,000 for their lowest. Their highest attendance is 2,366.
Let's dive into how Clark completely turned things around. We're not just talking about a small spark of interest. This was a full-blown revolution. Arenas that once echoed with emptiness were now packed to capacity. TV ratings weren't just impressive. They were shattering records at every turn. And as for merchandise, good luck getting your hands on a Caitlyn Clark jersey. They were flying off the shelves faster than hotcakes at a county fair.
These numbers are crazy. Do you know what kind of money these numbers are going to turn into? Like, this is how you grow the league. This attendance is crazy.
Here's where things get really interesting. The WNBA wasn't just gaining popularity, it was pulling in serious cash. For a league that had been struggling to keep its head above water, this was like hitting the jackpot in your own backyard. You might be wondering, how much of a difference could one player possibly make? The answer? A lot. More than you could ever imagine.
The WNBA. Cheap seats going for $100, that is a sign of progress. The most expensive seats to see Caitlyn Clark were selling for over $4,000. When she played Angel Reese in the regular season, average ticket was selling for $300.
Overnight, ticket prices skyrocketed, tripled to be exact. Seats that once sold for $20 were suddenly going for $60, $70, even $100, and people were eager to pay. TV ratings soared as well, with games attracting millions of viewers. Even those who had never watched a women's basketball game before were tuning in, curious to see what all the buzz was about.
It's what she does. Now, as a player, let's understand this about Caitlyn Clark. Number 1 overall pick, on pace to become the first rookie ever to average at least 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But she also leads the league with 5.4 turnovers per game, 1.3 more than any other player in the league.
Clark's impact wasn't just in the numbers. She brought a whole new energy to the game. Her plays left everyone in awe, from jaw-dropping behind-the-back passes to long-range three-pointers and clutch moments in the final seconds. She did it all, and she did it with a style and flair that had both fans and critics singing her praises.
The Fever will have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year, and the second best to that was in 1999 with the Washington Mystics at just over 400,000. So the Fever are going to account for over 200,000 more fans this year to their game.
So how did Caitlyn Clark single-handedly elevate the WNBA's popularity? It wasn't just her undeniable skills on the court, it was her ability to ignite people's imaginations. She turned women's basketball into something thrilling, unpredictable, and unmissable. Her presence drew in new fans, reignited the passion of old ones, and sparked conversations everywhere, from water coolers to social media. Now, the WNBA faces a choice. Capitalize on this momentum or risk slipping into obscurity? What do you think they should do?